What's up, y'all? Welcome back to another week of Mike and the Minifans. Back to the same old shit. No more Menners mashup. No more hurricanes taking us out for the week. We're back to a regular good old panel, but this week we got a great panel. Some new guys, new faces. First off, we got Minidan. Minidan, what's up, man?
How's it going, guys?
Oh yeah, it's gonna be a good one. Going good, going good. And also, we have the executive producer of the upcoming KMS Race Across America. We have Ryan.
What
Ryan.
up, boys? How you doing tonight?
Oh, we're doing good. Good. But yeah, we had a great show, great end to the week today, honestly. That's what like you almost just want to talk about that right off the bat, right? Calls are back. Got a good grade, A plus. Menners and John, their manifesto came true. One dedicated episode to calls. Everyone got a day notice. I think that's the new method. I think that's gonna work because Kirk said it's coming back in 2 weeks, right?
Yeah,
hmm
I think you're better off doing it just on a Friday though. I wouldn't integrate it into the regular shows during the week, to be honest, unless you absolutely need to. I would just keep it for the Friday schedule.
Yeah, yeah. I think Friday is like the perfect just to like hang out for an hour and a half. Just it was like almost like a casual show in a way because it just wasn't this huge cast of characters. Just Justin, Kirk, talking shop, and then just taking calls. Everyone got to do their bits. Ryan, how the calls? How'd you feel about the calls?
I mean, I loved it. Actually, my buddy Mike, I told him, I was like, because a lot of times I'm busy in the day. I'm like, next time Kirk does calls, let me know. I got to call in, talk about the game show idea because him and I have been kind of spitballing it back and forth. So he shot me a text. I actually missed it. He called me, he goes, "Did you get the red alert?" I was like, "No, no, what?" He's like, "Kirk's taking calls." I'm like, "Shit, okay." So I hopped on and was able to get on kind of last minute. Yeah, today's been kind of wild. So here we are.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of want to get into that right away. How did this come about? Because you said that your friend Mike is the one who introduced you to the show, and then is this just in casual conversation when you guys would talk about the show? This comes about this idea.
Yeah. So I'm a big RVer. I travel a lot. So when Kirk talks about his crazy trips, it always intrigues me. Then the Dakotas trip, they went to Dakotas. We were supposed to go, him and I. I ended up having a wedding. I couldn't go. Still hear about to this day. So we keep talking about this idea, like road trip, something, Minifans, trying to kind of come up with a way to screw Clemmer, fuck with him a little bit, whatever it may be. And yeah, just kind of went with it today. Knew Kirk could add something to it, and here we are.
I mean, shoot, it worked out basically as good as it could have. I mean, right off the bat, he took it and ran with it within what 15 seconds of the call. Dan, what did you think about when you were hearing about how he took it so quickly and it was just ready to run?
So I thought I'll be controversial. I thought the calls kind of didn't flow before Ryan's call, to be honest. Like there's some people that I like, but the Boston radio Twitter guy I can't stand. So I was like, just get through this. And I was like, okay, we're past him. Get through the normal. I wanted some new callers. So when I heard Ryan's voice, I was like, okay, this is definitely a new guy. This isn't somebody who we know. And then I started hearing the idea. I was like, oh, that's actually really good. I'm shocked nobody came forward with it, to be honest.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah. It was
Kirk
pretty surprising.
and Kirk he's so knowledgeable about the highway. He talks about like, oh, 70, 80, 90, you do this, you do that. Like he knows so much. So that's what always got me going. Like what people out there know the highway system and what people literally couldn't get out of their own way to find the highway. And then if we like throw different clues and how to get like, yeah, we all know where Madawaska is, but could you actually get there if you didn't have GPS? And then if you have clues maybe to get there. So I got a lot of plans, a lot of sponsorship ideas. Kirk wants it sold. We'll sell it. We'll get it done. We will do it the right way. This will not go into the black hole of other Minifan ideas. This will happen spring of 2025 with us at the helm.
Wow. There you go. I mean, you heard it here first. Now we've heard it on the call, but now we've heard it here live. There is full dedication to this thing. That's actually what I love to hear because I love the idea as well. I mean, you get to see interaction that integrates the main show and the common third chairs, and then also if someone like Menners just comes in and flies in. and then like Kirk says puts him with like fucking Mayo, them trying to navigate a map. I just want to see Menners with an American map and trying to go to American destinations. I think that within itself would be fucking hilarious content. Maybe make him drive, like that's his one rule. He has to be the one who drives. Take the wheel on the opposite side, drive on the right side of the road.
That's probably like some sort of challenge or something, right?
Yeah, or a punishment. They have to ask for directions, like you were saying.
Right.
All of a sudden, Menners has to drive to the next destination. Having him drive across 3 or 4 states might not go as well as they thought. Put him behind, and maybe only Mutt can have directions. Mutt can only give directions to Kirk. Kirk can't do the opposite.
Yeah, there's so many different things you can do than in quirks, or even like if everyone has a phone in their car, you can either set up like a group call or group text, or just send out a clue to everyone at the same time. You could, if someone goes and asks for directions, maybe they switch cars. You went to a nice car to a shitty car, or a car with half tank gas. All kinds of things you can do to penalize people for asking for directions or something like that.
Yeah, so that would be kind of like these punishments or changes to the game. They would be set up at each checkpoint, I'm assuming, right? It would just be, this is what's going to happen now that you've done this. Instead of this car, you're changing over to this Geo Metro with a stick shift for the next 20 miles.
Because, we should be able to figure out roughly where the gas stops would be. I mean, you can figure out where these, miles per gallon, all that good stuff. So you could have like set up designated stop here. And if you do ask a question, or I don't know, look for directions, or try to talk to a stranger without someone seeing, or somehow get penalized. You're like, oh yeah, you had a full tank. Now you have a quarter tank. So now you're gonna have to stop again. Or if we have prepaid debit cards and you can only spend so much, maybe you're gonna have to choose between food and gas, or food and hotel, or like Justin was saying, are you gonna stop? Are you not gonna stop? Are you gonna stay at rest stops? Like all these different decisions, but we haven't even got into what the hell the teams are going to be yet. So that would probably be the most important thing. Kirk said 6 teams of 2. So we'll go with that. And eventually we're going to have to set up these teams.
Yeah. And he did say he's willing to build too. So that could be happening as well. I mean,
I was going to say, I think we were already at 10 teams, just confirmed people who have confirmed through Twitter and the show.
I was going to say, yeah, Twitter just added I think it added Be a Man Guy and Tim and Canton as another team as well. And
Ridgels.
Oh, Ridgels. Sorry. Yeah. Tim Ridgels and Be a Man Guy. And then it also added, Menner said he was in, and that was on the show as well. But I guess he said in the comments just now he can't drive. So, I mean, that might even be fun too. See how long he can avoid the police until he gets pulled over. And all of a sudden you got to tag in, tag out.
Yeah, right. And Justin's team may have 3 people potentially, not all that can drive hypothetically, but so yeah, the teams may not always just be 2, might be more than 2, maybe 1 that can just drive. Our universe is a little weird, so who knows what these teams will be.
It'd be good to put Ted Sellers and Menners. Sorry, Facts. It'd be good to put Sellers and Menners just to see how they would work. That's all I'm going to say.
So do you have like a dream team that you guys are thinking of, like someone you need to see together, or someone actually maybe you could even think could win the whole thing straight off the bat? Ryan, if you want to go.
I mean, believe it or not, I saw that they wanted to enter Coleman and Gus. I feel like would be hilarious. Like they'd probably get too stoned and get lost, which would just we'll probably have the air tags in the car or whatever, so we can see they'd be like the group just going in a circle or something. So just for comic relief, I'd go with them.
Oh yeah, that would be great. And who do you see winning it? Like out of the teams that are kind of to be like named already from the show and Twitter, do you see anyone who kind of like eases to the top easy, or is it like a level playing field? Or are you going to try to make it as level as possible?
You got to try to make it level, but Kirk's got to be the favorite. He has all the knowledge of the interstates. Now we got to try to bring him back down to par somehow with the challenges and whatever. But I give it to Kirk to start off as the favorite.
Yeah. I mean, first challenge has got to be a puzzle game. Yeah. That's how you got to get him.
Oh fuck!
That's how you got to get him. Nerf him from the start. Maybe or every single challenge that Kirk has to do is just lead. Oh my God, him leading Mutt through a puzzle.
Oh my.
That see, there you go. There you go. Just the
There you
show's
go.
just making itself.
Yep. Yep.
What
There might
about
be a
you, Dan?
murder.
I'm a Tim Ritzels and Be a Man guy, so they would be my most interesting one for me. Like, Be a Man knows everything around the world, so I feel like he is a sleeper for somebody who knows everything about the U.S. The guy travels everywhere and
Yeah.
does tours and all kinds of crazy stuff. Now, I don't know how far out west he's gone. I've seen the East Coast a lot for him, so that would be an interesting one. If he knows the West Coast, he might compete with Kirk. That team.
Yeah, yeah, that could be definitely a sleeper team. I just randomly saw it through the feed, so I'm glad that being a man guy could be on there because I agree with you. Given that he does all of these other events and things like that too,
Mhm.
he's been around, so I could definitely see them being there. I mean, for me, I would say the dream team would be someone as chaotic as possible, but also seeing Gus and Coleman like lost in the woods in the middle of nowhere. Just like Ryan bringing that up and making me think of that is hilarious to think about. As far as winning, yeah, I don't know. It's hard for me to pick. I'm the one who brought up the question. I don't even have an answer for it. It's just because you want to make it so level and you kind of want to add all those elements where it makes everyone tough. But if Coleman and Coleman and Gus could be the most entertaining and come out winning, that would be great. Or if like Justin, Ted, and Mike could come out on top, that would also be wonderful.
Yeah, I mean, somehow has to be 24/7 stream in the car. Maybe talk to Elon, get some Starlink in the cars, get whatever camera we need wired to the car so it has power. Because frankly, I'm a big Justin guy, but I need to figure out what he does to push people to insanity on road trips. So maybe we can figure that out during the game if he's involved. Of what sort of mental warfare does Justin do to people just to make them lose their mind on a road trip? So 24/7 feed has to be part of the show.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that GoPro slash, and then just take the GoPro with him wherever you go. It's like that would be perfect. You just need to see everyone, and then I don't know, kind of like how golf works, where you can choose which channel you're watching. You have to figure out that. There's a lot of layers to it, man. It's going to be
Definitely.
difficult, but I mean, I guess now we can go into the rest of the show. What happened for the week? Because we all agree, calls overall, it's good that they're back. It's good that they're coming back on Fridays, and then this show is just gonna we're gonna be hearing more and more about it every week. So we don't have to get super super deep into it. But this week we had some interesting guests and then some guests who were on, but you didn't really notice too much. One person that you did notice, some for the right reasons, some for not, was Charles. And Dan, you had said you had something to say about Charles. So please, the floor is yours.
So yeah, I don't know how far you both go back, but this is a perfect Cullinane booking. And I got to be honest, when they said Charles was booked, I thought it was Ziggy messing with Cullinane because he's done this before just to test Cullinane's skills and emailing and going back and forth. I was shocked that it was a real person. That was my first thought. I was like, okay, we got a real person. And then he just sat there and didn't say a word. He's a perfect kind of fan that just wants to be the hangout person, in my opinion. Probably
Yeah.
didn't want to go in there, but Cullinan was like, yep, we can get you in. And that was it.
And then from that point on, when he said we can get you in, it's like, when are you coming in? Hey, we have you next week. And then eventually, yeah, he just had to break him down.
Yeah.
But yeah, Charles, I mean, I like Charles. Yeah, he hung out. He had a good time. He didn't ruin the flow of anything. He just answered the questions when you were asked. It was kind of like the perfect first appearance that you want to see out of somebody. Somebody just goes with the flow and has a good time. The the trivia question, him asking, "Is it Charles?" That was just a great little moment. Things like that. Ryan, you enjoyed Charles?
Yeah, I mean the last thing you want is Kirk ripping you apart your first show. So kind of going under the radar. That's all you can ask for.
Yeah, yeah. That was. I mean, I love that. And then the day prior to, we also had Birdman on, and Birdman's great, but the things he added to the show were his regular bird facts and then discussions about fixing a dishwasher, which I think is only interesting to me I don't know if anyone else was really locked in. Like, I was there and I was like, oh yeah, look at that. He took it apart, blah blah blah. But I mean, that's what I do. I am the boring CEO. That's kind of like my job, is to like boring shit. So I was all about it. But
I
yeah,
was
other
all
than
in
that,
on his birds landing on the boat to get over here. That's how they come across the ocean. I thought that was a bit of a wild little fact he threw at us out of nowhere. So that's what I took from Birdman.
yeah, yeah. It was a pretty basic appearance, but I mean, it was still good. Like, he didn't add a ton, but the flow of the show wasn't interrupted. Same sort of deal. It still went as normal. Dan, did you have anything on Birdman?
No, I mean, you guys pretty much said it perfectly. He didn't add a lot, but when he did, the facts were very interesting.
You
Yeah.
never know what kind of fact you're going to get or what the hell kind of name of bird there is or hey, but he's in it. He's into it. So gotta love it.
Oh, absolutely. And I mean, also on the same show, um, my fears that men are so desperately called out last Friday were nullified when Kirk, in fact, did say that he did not have pancreatic cancer. It was just a stomach issue. So, Kirk, we're glad that you don't have cancer and that you're not dying. Little fucked up that you strung us all along for that long, but glad it's just a small little stomach issue. Hopefully, you get it squared away and you'll be all right. But I just wanted to mention that too. So
Amen.
luckily,
Praise
no,
God, Kirk.
yeah, no pancreatic cancer. Amen to that. Mhm. And then we moved on too because next we had Mutt's appearance, and his appearance was interesting. Definitely for the locker room conversation. That one, that one was weird. It was a weird hill to die on. How do you feel about this locker room thing, and why does Mutt want to go into a locker room so bad to get these supposed raw interactions with these players? I don't know. I don't know what you thought about that, Dan, but that was a little weird. No.
It's a little weird, but it's peak Mutt, and it's what the old EEI people should expect from Mutt every time. He's a jock sniffer. He always has been. He always will be. He thinks the old school radio is the way to go. And that's how all those guys think about it.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, he's dedicated to it.
I've always found the locker room interview like the stadium obviously has a room that you could do the interviews like they do in the playoffs, right? You sit down,
Yeah.
you answer questions.
Mhm.
Why that isn't the norm? Well, like you got dudes that are butt ass naked next to you as you got 15 people huddling around the next guy answering about why he dropped the ball. Like, and he can't even dry off his balls because there's like it's very weird. And there are women there, and that's another weird aspect of it that you're just literally in the locker room wanting to shower and change, and there's all these people watching you.
Yeah, I mean, in general, the fact that you're going in there, people have been trying to argue it too. Like, even Mutt was trying to argue it, like, oh, they have a waiting period before you're able to go into the locker room. But regardless, there's so many people who are coming in and out of these showers. There's no possible way you go in there. Like Mutt just is saying, just like Dan said, Dan, you made the perfect point of just like that old school mentality of like all of these things need to stay the same and we should always be able to go into the locker rooms. But I'm definitely more on Kirk's side of that take, and just in general of the media doesn't really deserve anything. So anything they can get, especially nowadays with social media and podcasts and whatever, you'll learn how they think about shit if you just like tune into an episode. And if you're a true journalist, dig through the shit, man. Don't find it. But Mutt, he wants to be sitting in a sauna next to some dude with his hog out to hear about how he played defensive line. I guess
think
that's his own prerogative.
I think Mutt's just trying to figure out and do some comparison how he's matching up to the average day guy these days. Because I mean, I just don't see why else you'd want to go in the locker room other than trying to brag to your buddies. Yeah, I'm in the locker room. I got to see Bryce Harper's balls tonight. It was awesome. Like I just, don't get it.
Yeah, no, it doesn't make any sense. But then, I mean, to stack that on top, we got Aton's stupid ass tweet the next day just saying, we don't care if you watch this show or not, things like that. And then we heard what Mutt had supposedly said to Kirk, but then we got his response Thursday night. Did you guys see that Thursday night? Did you see how he responded?
Poor Mutt. I mean, poor guy. It's like me, right? Like I was living my own life this morning. All of a sudden I called a Kirk. Now I'm with you guys. Mutt could have just grabbed life by the horns, took Portnoy up on it, and just saw where it took him. Instead, he's on a show that we connected better tonight than they could have. So it was bad.
It's weird too, because he keeps trying to tell himself it was a hypothetical offer. I think that's very telling that he keeps saying that every time he brings it up. Like his wife has talked to him about that and said, this is how you reason with it. Or somebody outside of Barstool has talked to him.
Yeah, it didn't make any sense. And then for me too, other than just throwing away that opportunity, he then goes on the show and instead of making what could have been the perfect opportunity to get back in good graces with Dave and kind of causing some controversy and causing some entertainment in general, he just decides to go the passive route and immediately is like, oh, I still love this show. I do all this for the sound. I drive 3 hours. It's like, we already know you're the one who's more dedicated to the show. You do not need to double down on that shit, man.
Mm-hmm.
We got it. We're tracking. We want you to finally just like grow a pair, go after Aton, tell him he doesn't give a fuck about the show, tell him he fucking sucks, and then instead of glitches kicking him out of the show, just have you fucking do it. Do an episode with the bomber, put a couple birds up, and keep her moving. Like it was perfect, and he just crashed the plane. He just crashed the plane right into the grass. It was a rough watch, and that's only from the clip. I did not watch the episode. I don't know.
This is the first one I honestly haven't watched. I'll be perfectly honest. I've watched every single other one live. This is the first one I didn't feel like watching because I knew what I was going to get from Mutt. I don't care about his sports bet. I just don't. Like, if I want to bet, I'm going to bet on my own like stuff. I choose stupid bets myself. I don't need Mutt to tell me to bet on a spread that's minus 29 or something like that. Like the Bomber the same way. The point is, like, Mutt has always been this way. He always will be this way. He's been this way since EI. He's hasn't changed. Like I said before, this is an old school mindset. He's always had it.
And no one, Kirk is 100% right. Every betting show is the same. They all stink. No one really wants to listen to it. No one cares about the wins or losses, right? We all watch sports advisors and they all suck. No one's watching advisors to get picks. Like you watch it for entertainment. So this serious show about trying to pick wins, no one cares about that. Have fun with it and do some picks. Sure, put out some knowledge, talk football. Everyone likes to hear football talk, but the fact that people are watching to call their, go on their app and put in their wager because Mutt told them what to bet or the Bomber said, give me a break.
Yeah, 99% of the time, everyone is fading whoever is on the show placing these bets because the record speaks for itself. Like, I mean, Mutt's done pretty decent given what he's got, but it's not really going to change anything because it doesn't have that entertainment value. It's just this very awkward hour-long conversation. I mean, essentially just kind of like the show that I host every week, but instead football bets are added on top of it. But yeah, it's there's 4 weeks left, 3 weeks left, something. It's almost over. And then we just got to see what's going to happen after that because I wasn't interested in talking about it anymore in general. But then Aton had to put out that tweet and made it interesting for like a day again. And then it just died the next day. Shitty to see. Really shitty to see. But Stan here, he makes a really good point. He makes a really, really good point. And I think he's leading us in the right direction because in all reality, instead of just here clamoring Mutt for making these awful life decisions, we should be choosing love. And that leads me to my next point because on Thursday, on the Unnamed Show, we saw for ourselves that Mama K has claimed another victim, but this time it was a Barstool employee's father-in-law, which is fucking insane to me that she would just sit there and not warn anybody. She could have saved this man's life, but instead we got a psychotic meltdown of a Barstool employee where he compared Al Qaeda to Dave Portnoy saying he has to go to work. What were you guys' thoughts watching that unfold? Basically, I want to hear you guys take me from how you thought when it started to basically where it just went off the rails. I don't know, Dan. What did you think about that? That was insane.
So when he put out the blog, I'll start there for myself. I read the blog and I was like, okay, there's got to be something like death in the family, like something very serious. I get it. If death in the family, obviously, anniversary of family members' deaths is a big thing. Understandable. And then I saw it was a birthday party, and I was like, okay, like, but you can't text Dave that if that's what it really is about. Like, then just he could have texted Dave that or gone on the rundown, which is what he did, and he said, "You'll see it after my blog." He could have just gone on and said the same type of stuff. Like, I don't know where it came from, and then to go on unnamed, and then I thought the tears were fake. I'll be honest. When he first started talking, I thought that was a whole bit that he was pulling on the unnamed show, and then he was just gonna be like, "Fuck you, Dave," all that fun stuff. And then he got serious. And I was like, "Oh, I guess we're actually in for a fun one." And then it just ended awkwardly. That was my other.
The ending was weird. He clearly had an agenda. It's been said he needs to go probably get some help, but that was wild. Yeah. At first I thought, I was like everyone. I feel like this was a bit. You were going to wait for him to snap out of it and be like, Dave, fuck you. Was this. And it just never happened. And at some point, it's also like he's got to do nothing for 5 years. I know clearly he has a lot going on with his life. His family's been through a lot. Everyone can feel for that, but also real world work job. Dave asked you to come watch a baseball game and you acted like he wanted you to go enlist in war. At some point, you got to say, come on.
Yeah. And I mean, Michael here makes a great point. There's a possibility that Smitty's father-in-law was an inside man to 9/11, for all we know. But then Stan makes also another great point that instead of choosing love, now he's saying, imagine throwing your life away because a girl's dad was the pilot. Which, yeah, breaking it down at a base level, that really is what it was. And the fact that Smitty was grasping at straws in the middle of the argument, trying to be like, hey, Whit, hey, Kirk, you guys have kids. And then Kirk right away was like, no, fuck no, absolutely not. Don't try to fucking bring my kids into your psychotic break, because that was an insane move to just try to be like, you guys need to level with me. My father-in-law died in 9/11. I need to appreciate life. You guys should do the same. It was almost just like a fucking Westboro Baptist person just going off the rails. It was so weird and ominous. And yeah, the dude clearly needs some sort of help. I think he needs to haul ass from Barstool or take, like Kirk said, maybe a 6-month break or whatever, but it might not be for him.
Portnoy will take care of him. As much as everyone wants to say Dave is this bad, awful guy, come on, he will take care of Smitty more than anyone will. So I'm sure he'll get the best thing he needs. And maybe it was best case scenario. It happened on camera, so he can end up getting whatever happens to him.
Yeah.
Taken care of, yeah.
Yeah, some sort of, yeah. And I mean, Dave already said he looked over the contract. He knows what the severance package is. Like, now we just got to see essentially if this plan is going to be put into fruition or if it's just going to be put on hold for a little bit. But I got a feeling, yeah, it's probably going to fall all the way through eventually here, because that was rough.
Can you go up to Patriot Stink comment for a minute and pull that up? Because I think there might be something to that.
Oh, yeah. Here we go. That is a good point. Yeah, PSA says something else is going on. He's not actually triggered about the 9/11 thing. Yeah, that is a good point. Dan, did you have an interpretation for that of what you thought maybe is something else?
I thought, to be honest, I think it's been building for years. I don't exactly have a touch on what it is, but Smitty's been treated like crap by Dave for years. So maybe, kind of like in Mutt's situation, Smitty's wife finally said, okay, we've had enough. Like, time to look for something else. That would be my interpretation.
But it's almost like you get the gig, what it is with Smitty and Dave. Like, Dave makes fun of Smitty, Smitty gets paycheck. Plain and simple. That's it. Like, and I don't. Nothing really changed. It's not like there was a major event that made him really, other than a, I mean, almost throw by tweet for Dave about him not being there. Like it wasn't even a big deal, and then it led to this. So I don't
Yeah,
know.
and also at the same time too, you have to keep in mind like Smitty is more than welcome to bite back at any given time. It has done nothing but good things for the people who have ended up doing just that. Like we've seen Clemmer bite back, even Smitty himself has fought back during times, and all that does is elevate you. So it's not really just like this one-sided thing that I think Smitty has let it become in his own mind. And that's really kind of what this downfall has been. He's gotten so much in his own head. He's let it all get to him that even though
Mhm.
he's done some crazy shit, like comparing his boss to Osama bin Laden or texting him Jew in all caps with an exclamation point in the middle of the night, he's still there. So clearly it takes a lot of effort to get fired from that job. And given that he hasn't really done anything over the past number of months, it would be hard for him to justify getting another one. You know what I mean? It would just be hard for him to go somewhere else and say, "Hey, I want to do this or this. I can do this or this for entertainment, blogging, whatever." He doesn't have a lot to stand on based on his recent resume. So that's something also to think about. But other than that, I mean, one thing I did have too, Kirk mentioned this recently. I think it was, I can't remember because I listened to 2 episodes today, but they're planning a live viewing of episode 10 for this Aaron Hernandez show. Kind of trying to do that, just like the Barstool Survivor episode.
Thank God
So,
for this show. This show is wild and hilarious. Like the world has got a gift with this bad boy.
yeah, I mean, it's been like the It's My Life office dancing of Bill Belichick was the purest form of television entertainment I've seen in a long time. And based on the trajectory the show is going, I can only imagine what they're going to do with Kirk or how they're going to try to frame this whole suicide in jail type of thing, how they're going to integrate WEI on it. I think we're going to be having a pretty great episode 10.
Dude, I think somehow they need to turn this show into like real world, like overtake Saturday Night Live. Like I want to see somehow like how they would do, I don't know, Trump and Kamala. Like how would this show portray them? Their characters are so funny. I just can't get enough.
Yeah, I don't know. Dan, I mean, how do you feel about this? The show overall, too? And then based on the show, how are you feeling about episode 10 now? The more and more the show goes along.
I'll be honest, I hadn't watched a second of it till I saw that clip. And I don't, but
Man.
it doesn't, I don't care about it though. That's the difference because I saw how fake it was. Like you see the actors that they had put in there. That's my whole thing. Like, I know it's supposed to be like, it looks like a spoof. That's what it looks like to me. It doesn't look like it's supposed to be real at all. Just the way the Gronk, Aaron Hernandez character, I saw it, like I said, I saw the clip that they posted, but that's it.
Yeah, I'm okay, but what about episode 10? I mean, you've seen the clip, so you have a pretty decent idea about how ridiculous your show is in the spoof. So for episode 10, like something's got to give. Some shit's going to happen.
I wonder if they'll just give Kirk like a 5-second spot. Like I wonder they put his name in there. It's what's weird is they didn't put Jerry's name though. In all
Yeah.
seriousness, like Jerry should have been in there as well. If that's the way that it could be trajecting, to be honest, like it's just weird. I think that they'll have the makeshift studio or something of that nature, and then somehow the radio in the cell, and then everything happens from there.
Yeah, I was thinking it was going to be something like even if they do like gloss over it, maybe it'll just be Aaron in his cell, and it'll be just him overlooking all the events that happen in his life, and then he'll just hear about that. It'll just go to like a quick 5 second clip of Kirk, and then just cuts to him hanging himself. Maybe they'll just fuck him over completely because it feels like it's going to be one side or the other. It's either going to be this 5 second clip, or it's going to be this whole just hit piece
Yeah,
on
I
how
mean,
Kirk Minahan murdered Aaron Hernandez.
At first, I thought it might just be his voice, but they did say there is an actor involved with it. So I
Yeah.
guess there's some sort of at least one scene of him talking. So yeah, it's gonna be hilarious.
Yeah, I'm excited for this. And I mean, another thing that I'm pretty excited for, maybe not getting full support from everybody else on this, but Mick is going to be back. He was mentioned as being part of a possible team for this KMS Adventure Show, but Mick is coming back in, what is it now, 10 days or something like that, on the 21st. So Mick is coming back. There's been tons of alluding to hit pieces or whatever. Justin has bitten just about every single piece of bait that Mick has thrown his way. Do you think this is even going to be anything, or is it just going to be like something with no gravity and no evidence just to get Justin rattled?
So I
And I don't
think,
know.
yeah, sorry. If we go back to when Mick's last appearance, Kirk said, "I'll be in contact with you." And I just have a strong feeling there was something behind the scenes to fuck with Justin, just to keep Justin on his toes, because Justin's been a little comfortable recently. Up until this week with the Geno stuff, Justin's been very comfortable and does his own thing, and nobody bothers him. And then out of nowhere, Mick just magically appears, and you're telling me there's nothing going on. Nobody told him to do any of this. I'm a maniac, so I love every second of this, but it's just crazy. That's the easiest way to say.
Listen, ever since we got the rocks through the window with Mick, I don't believe anything he says, and I'm not expecting this to be much of anything.
No, not at all. I mean, I could see it being something that's purely just for the fact that Dana said, just to rile Justin up, because you're kind of right. He was getting a little comfy in his chair, and then with the Geno stuff, yeah, we can just kind of roll right into that. That was just weird because he kept defending himself as if they were saying that this whole thing was a farce, but really they were just trying to see the logic in it. And I listened to it and I honestly couldn't keep up with how much he jumped around. And then obviously everybody had their theories on Twitter. Gino was identified as a real person who has this restaurant, but what what is this relationship?
Justin's
What
just
is
a
it?
guy that has weird friends. He's just one of those guys that's got a weird bunch of friends. Like some people have high school friends, college friends. Justin's got this hodgepodge of friends. They're older, they're younger, they're his age, whatever it may be. He's just one of those dudes. That's how I explained it to myself.
Yeah, it's just a random guy he just buddied up with, and then, hey, I'm a Phillies fan, you're a Phillies fan, let's go to a game.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like, hey, you like the Braves? I like the Phillies. You got shit
Yeah,
to
yeah,
do.
Braves, excuse
I'll
me.
meet you there. Whatever. Like Justin's down. Hey, Justin's down to where, hey, you want to go to Philly? You want to go to New Jersey? He seems to be down to go wherever, which is definitely weird, but that's he's kind of, it's not the first time he's done that. So that's why I believed him the whole time. That is just Justin. So yeah.
Yeah, I think the bit. My criticism for that is the bit went too long.
Yep.
Justin needs to learn to lie like Mike does. Because if Justin had just sold it and then just whatever excuse for Gino had just ended it, like, oh yeah, he had to go and just say it a better way. The bit moves on, and then we're good. Instead, Justin just keeps backpedaling, and at that point, Kirk knew he could pry at it.
Yeah, that's really what it is. Like once Kirk spots that little chink in the armor, he's just gonna keep coming after you. And Mike has always done a really good job of just being like, he's either gonna concede and just roll with it, or yeah, he'll just lie and say, "Oh, this is that, this is whatever. Let's just move on." But Justin, he's got Kirk in his head a little bit lately, especially with this Geno thing. That was getting him real good. And I don't know too, the producer show. They had a little vindication. That's where it really came out, right? That Gino was in fact this real person. They don't talk often whatsoever, but they just happened to go to the Phillies and Braves game. And I guess it is like what Ryan said, where it's just like this very weird crew of friends. It just usually you know a guy a little bit better before you decide to go to a Phillies Braves game. It just doesn't seem like they're that interconnected. Does Justin really just do this because he's like, oh, this would be funny? I go with this random restaurant owner to a Braves game. He confuses the shit out of me sometimes, just with his insistence on doing stuff, just because it's like, oh, this could be something. This could be something, but like at the same time, it also seems genuine. Like he's just buddying up with Gino.
It seems genuine, but like to be honest, for me personally, if I take a 30-minute drive with my buddies, we're riding together, or we're talking about riding together. Just a 30-minute, not even a longer drive. It's just weird that the conversation ends at, oh, you're gonna drive separate? Okay, I guess I'll see you there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
yeah,
mean,
just
no
cool
doubt
with
it's
it.
strange. There's no one doubting that it was a strange story, but like I said, that's kind of Justin. He does strange things. He likes to drive. Maybe it is like a bit in his head. He's like, yeah, it's gonna be weird. I'm gonna drive to Philly for a baseball game. Who does that? Like, just Justin being Justin.
Just that's what it is. Justin being Justin. I mean,
Justin Bits is all I'm gonna say. Justin Bits.
Justin Bits. No one more dedicated than this guy. I will give him that. He has some wonderful dedication. But really, I mean, other than that, there wasn't too much craziness going on over the week. I know that for me, at least, there was a lot of good stuff in the show this week. But as far as substance, the biggest things, my biggest takeaways, well, obviously one of them happened today with Ryan, that we could have possibly a huge show going on. We're going to be figuring out more about surviving Barstool and probably getting more allusions to it. Menners and I had talked last week about how there were some potential spoilers brought up on the show. Well, at least he was really hammering on that. But I don't personally think so. He really played into this big cat bit this week.
Yeah.
So once he plays into a bit enough, it kind of makes me think it doesn't really have the legs we all think they have. And if there was issues, because I mean he said so much bullshit over it. He was saying he hates Big Cat. Jeff Dulo, blah blah blah, was black. They're talking on the phone today. So clearly, I don't know about your guys' perspective, but my perspective, I think we're just gonna get fucked with until the show airs.
He knows what he's doing though, because he knows if he says the Big Cat thing, 99% of Minifans will react and say, "Okay, what happened?"
Yeah,
like so he's building suspense for the show. Now, if it actually happens, I'd be genuinely shocked if something actually happens to Big Cat. But I mean, they still talk every day, as far as we can tell, and obviously Jeff talks to Kirk. So like, I don't think anything really serious happened, because I think it would have come out. Somebody would have leaked it. There's somebody at the Chicago office who would have leaked something.
It's early. It is early. There's too many idiots in this company at Barstool for this to go without any hiccups. I'm sure someone will mess something up, spill something. The farther you get away, you kind of forget, slip up a little bit. But yeah, I'm excited for it.
Oh yeah, I mean, if you think about it too, there's still like they said, first couple weeks of December, there's still a strong month and a half. Somebody, we're gonna get one elimination spoiled. I mean, I've said it 1,000 times. Clemmer goes maybe 3 episodes, max. Kirk, I feel like Kirk went farther this time than he did before. Personally, I feel like Kirk made it to like maybe even the final 6, but at the same time, you have all these other wild cards. There's so much of a bigger cast. This could definitely be a really, really good season. I enjoyed the show. I know some Minifans hate the show, but I think it's a fucking amazing piece of content. So I'm super hyped to see it. And I'm sure before the time comes, we're definitely going to know like 1, possibly 2 people who are going to be eliminated before the show even airs.
I think if we can get Mitzi on next week, I bet we could find out every elimination that happened.
And it wouldn't even take any sort of grilling, too. We just got to let them talk about it.
Yeah.
You'll get
like,
a hot
you
mic.
Excited?
You're going to get a hot mic at like the Black Friday event or something that's live, that they're doing something, that you got someone, or a live stream that they don't think they're on mic talking about something. It'll be that someone spills the beans that way.
I mean, hey, Kev makes an interesting prediction right here. He says Smitty when surviving. That would be fucking something. Smitty when surviving, or this is just long term, long game planning. I mean, obviously, I don't think that shit was planned at all. But if Smitty makes it pretty far, that could add to maybe some context to maybe what happened this past week. Because I got a feeling maybe Dave. We all know how Dave plays any sort of competition, and he got into Jerry's head like a motherfucker last season. So this could definitely play into maybe why there was a breakdown on that call on the unnamed show this past week. So that's a very interesting point there, Kev. I mean, I don't see it outside of reality.
We also had to figure Gaz into this. Gaz will stir the pot. So there's something that Gaz probably said during one of these two events that probably got under Smitty's skin.
Yeah. I think man, I just lost a comment. Hold on.
Boo.
What's up,
Facts.
everybody? The
Kirk.
co-executive producer of the KMS Across America.
Did you thank Kirk for not having cancer?
No,
Yes, he did.
Oh, did I? Oh, well then, yes.
Thanks, Kirk.
Yeah, thank you, Kirk, for not having cancer. I said it was pretty fucked up that he dragged everyone along for that week.
Against
Yeah.
Motherfucker, not only did he not have it, fuck you for not having it.
Yeah.
So
I mean, if you're gonna be holding it, make it interesting. That was really my point.
Yeah. Ryan, you sound like the biggest yinzer in the world. The biggest Pittsburgh sounding guy in the world. I love it. Beautiful.
I am a Yinzer, so I'm glad I sound like one.
You really do. I love
Appreciate
it. Two Pennsylvania guys leading the charge. Love this. People are gonna hate us. You ready for that?
I'm ready for it. It's already happening. I mean,
is getting thrown into the fire because of this call he made. When I heard this today, first of all, I didn't even hear it. Carm was like, "Did you just hear that?" Because apparently that's when he said, or he was on the phone with him, and I didn't hear it at all. And then I heard it and I was like, this is just so much responsibility. But then it's really far away. So there are chances that it won't happen, or we'll all be fired by then. There's a lot that can happen until then. So keeping my hopes up. Let's go. Let's go, Ryan.
I got the plan. Don't worry. I'm still planning. But yeah, Tuesday, Kirk can come in and be like, yeah, we're done, right?
Oh, yeah, 100%. You better be ready for it, too. Ryan, be ready for all your hopes and dreams to be smashed to tiny bits.
He's going to hear Ryan talking about it, and then he's just going to walk and be like, nope, we're done. I don't want to hear Ryan talking about it.
I saw Brian posting today, and I was just like, there's one tweet he might just put out, and Kirk would just be like, lights off. But it's like, whatever, good. I love the tweets. You had everything planned. You had like our MapQuest directions printed out and everything.
Hey, I'm a road tripper myself. So one thing I can do is is plan some trips. So if it happens, until Kirk says no, we will.
If I would love an opportunity to produce a game show, like when I tell you love, I've already spoken to like the person that's going to be doing my cameras for me. Like, if this thing goes to fruition and we get to actually produce a fucking game show like this, where it's across America, like we can make this so cool.
I mean, dude, my RV's got a door in the back. I figure I'll have you hanging out the back as we like go find one of the contestants' cars, you know, like we'll go zoom past them, give them a flyby and shit.
I love Pittsburgh, dude. I love Pittsburgh. I love Pittsburgh. Best people in the world. Facts. How's the show going? Your cheeks are really red.
Are they?
Yeah.
I was in the sun all day today, so I was roasted for quite a bit.
Really?
But
stealing MREs off hurricane victims?
No. Just stealing MREs from my staff duty building. Yeah.
Not hurricane victims yet.
Not yet. Yeah. They never made it to the hurricane victims.
Cool.
But no, I mean, I thought it was a pretty good show overall, given the panel of two completely new people and then me just shooting the shit. We did a great little threesome going on here. So
I texted Montante. I said this Pittsburgh version of you, which I think Ryan's a good Pittsburgh version of Montante. I hope you don't take offense to that. I love Montante.
No, I'm all good with that.
Yeah.
Smarter Montante.
Smarter Montante. Yeah, that's right.
We'll see.
People are just kind and shit. Menners is here too if you want him on. But remember, this is your show, and you could body him and say no. Look at him. He's like, what the fuck?
I have.
Invited on this incursion, though. I would love to hear his take on it.
Oh yeah, me too. And I mean, I see no reason for me to body him 2 weeks in a row. Like I already took him out last week to the point where he quit until the last minute this week. I feel like he needs some vindication.
I don't remember facts.
When? Yeah, I mean, you'll see. I mean, he tried. He got very rattled last week. So
he does do that.
He does do that.
Come on, let's wrap this Mike and the Minifans up. I'm ready for Manners Live. So honestly, watching facts for almost an hour is like taking 15 Valiums. It's hard to go on after sitting through that. So let's
Manners, I missed you, man. Ryan. I missed
Good
you.
To see you, Minidan. I didn't miss you. So yeah, when you're ready, let's start Manners Live.
All right, buddy.
Yeah, let's do it. Thank you, Ryan and Minidan, for coming on Mike and the Minifans. Thank you, Manners, for giving us your hot takes, and John for coming on the end. Hopefully this KMS Across America goes off without a hitch. We see it coming on next week. But yeah, thanks for tuning in, everybody.
Don't ruin it, facts.
On the Manners Live. Yeah.
I ruined it. Hold on, I'm not ready. Producer.
Oh my God.
Million pills. Not facts.
Hit your fucking intro. I'll be back.
Not tonight, you won't. Not on this show. It's late night with Mad Manners. I'm your host. Hello, everybody. Hello, everyone. Hello, everyone. Manners till midnight. I will be taking your calls. I am also still alive. I haven't been fucked to death by koalas. So stick it up your ass, Steve. It's really good to see someone while we're all on lockdown. That's it. It's always sort of been there, the women's game, and it's been ignored. So fucking scared. I mean, look at Steve Robinson. Since he talked about his parents in the first episode, he basically lied since then because he's too afraid. He doesn't have the guts that Kirk has. Honestly, I want Fax to narrate a book or something and record it and send it to me, because if I'm struggling to get to sleep, it will be perfect. He is very, very boring. Anyway, great to be with you. Happy Manners Live. This is impromptu because I wasn't going to jump on, but there was no long Friday show for me to catch up on, and it was turned out to be a fun week with a few things to talk about. I was wondering if John would like to step in. I got a question for him. Hey, buddy.
What's up, buddy?
So do you think you're up for producing this road trip?
Yep. I already
got the chops for it.
Yeah, I spoke to my guy that will make this happen.
Okay. Because I think you should try and do it in conjunction with some people at Barstool.
Oh, well, people with experience. At a certain point, I would have to. We're not. What do you think? We're going to go buy all these mics or something?
No, but don't listen to Kirk. Like, Kirk's like, oh, we don't need Barstool, so we'll do it on our own. Like, I think
I don't even mean, like, I just mean equipment wise, like any resources we could get from Barstool.
But also they've got experience with doing this shit. So you know, so they can say, hey, don't make this mistake. Don't make this mistake. We've learned it's better to do this. Like, why wouldn't you use that resource? You know, Kirk doesn't understand that stuff because he can't plug in a fucking microphone. So, you know, and he's got to do all this dumb yes men in studio. But anyway, I'm in a great mood despite not sounding like I am.
It's to America. I'm making a t-shirt.
Yeah, man, it's to America.
Money, and I'm going to save money to get you here, and then I'm going to steal all the money.
What a great idea to take calls on a Friday, and then look, all of a sudden there's this great storyline that's emerged. Wow, it's like,
dare I say, a slap of the still calm water. A slap of the still calm water today.
There is a bit of a talk going on that trios would be better for the.
I said two partners and a content, like a production guy. So like they get to pick their camera guy. They're actually part of the content too. Because like say their camera work and all that shit's bad, it's going to affect them in the game. I look at it that way.
But wouldn't you just have like a GoPro set up in every car? You wouldn't have a camera person in each car.
Yeah, the way I
like a car. Wouldn't you have a car following
I
with
would have a
camera crew.
static camera, and they have a mobile camera. That's all I'm giving them. Like, we're not gonna, so they
And I
have
thought trios of contestants might be good. Andy Mayo proposed me, Andy, and Jeff Lowe. Could be
There
fun.
you go. Are you gonna come over? Not with the money that I raise.
Well, next spring sounds good. I really want to get over, so this would be a great excuse to it. I really hate driving, and I'm terrible. Like, I think this would be good because I would be very uncomfortable. Like, this does not sound like an idea of a good time to me. I hate driving.
Yeah,
Being stuck in a car with anybody for that long is going to be awful.
be part of my production team then. Let's nail this.
No, I don't want to be like if I'm going to come over, I would rather.
I agree.
What?
I said you should be competing like 100%.
Like, it's good for content if I'm uncomfortable.
Yes, agreed.
Yeah, you'll see me at my worst, which is, I guess,
my like that's why I'm happy I'm doing, because what would I would just crush cigs the whole time and have nothing would be good out of it. It'd be bad. Now,
Definitely
this does
true.
bring your top 50 list more into the limelight than ever, because
really, I hadn't thought of that.
Yeah, because he said it's going to be based off of that, didn't he?
Did he? I wasn't sure if it was the upcoming one or the last one. I've only listened to it once because of see, people mocked me, but the clocks have changed here, which means the show goes to air much later at night for me, which is very hard then for me to listen live. So it used to be at 11:30 p.m. Now it's 12:30 p.m. One of the shows was 1:30 a.m.
I didn't listen to the I didn't listen live, and I just had people texting me just their name and someone else's name all day. I had no clue what it was about, and then I found out it was about this. So
yeah, so yes, the Minifan Top 50 list is coming together. But yeah, I think the road trip, the Amazing Race idea sounds fantastic. I think the show needs some buzz
fast, because if you get a ticket, that'll like lock it in.
Well,
the more we work on it faster.
Well, I'm not going to lock in a ticket yet until like the dates are like sorted out and stuff.
That's true. You can't really get a plane ticket for sometime in the spring.
Yeah, but I'm happy to sort of be advisor, executive producer type role as the production team. I know you need help.
Yeah, I do need help.
And my first bit of advice to you is just ignore what Kirk says. Go straight to Barstool. You need to be put in touch with the people who've produced this stuff before, and get their top 10 things you should do, top 10 things you shouldn't do, and then you can work out actually how much help you need from there.
The guy I do my work with in Scranton, that like I do my actual work with, he's like a big cameraman / he was like a union camera guy, so he knows how to run sets and scenes and all that stuff. So I just lean on him for all that stuff, and then I do the creative stuff. That's why I already talked to him. So it's like, I want to know if do they want to do this live, and I have to be like live streaming in these, because it's going to be impossible to have live streams where we can have like an Apple tag tracking these cars, and we could have live trackers going, and then we could like go in and out.
Yeah. I need to sort of think about it, but I think what you could do is you could have live shows every night. So you could, everywhere you end up, you do a live show recapping the day. Depends if you're going to turn it into a TV show. Like, there's a lot of moving parts, but if you wanted to make it a live event, you just record all together recapping, and do footage and do live streams throughout the day. Like maybe you've got live streams in every car, but you can cut to them. So
that's the way I'm thinking. So like
and then when you get somewhere for an event, you can have it set up with cameras.
Yeah, they could constantly be sending us in content, and then we could just bring it up on screen basically, and while we're watching trackers.
Yeah, bring the OnlyFans guy in on this. I'm sure he's had experience filming all sorts of stuff in all sorts of locations.
Yeah, it's really hard filming like this. You love that, didn't you? That little fucking interview that you got. Kane's a worker bee, man.
Yeah, Kane's fantastic. It was a great interview. That guy's a freak show. Not that I want to keep Kane. He put on like Twitter like videos of him.
So what? That's what they do.
Okay, yeah, you're right. Maybe I'm just a bit prudish.
And play with the big boys here, buddy. You're gonna have to deal with stuff like that.
As
He's
Freddie
called-
Lynn said, he's got no doubt that you've already like hooked up with these two on
No,
OnlyFans and
no.
done freaky shit.
No, I don't get
All
it.
right. So let's so this week basically, I did a lot of soul searching this week around KMS. It was, again, it's exactly what I said it would be. It's a midweek, so there were 2 stinker shows and there were 2 good shows. You had the Monday show with Mike and the Birdman, which was not good because Paul Kirk was distracted. So give him a pass. He thought he was going to get a cancer diagnosis and face the demise. So I totally give him a pass on that one. Get out of jail free card, so to speak.
Thank you, Kirk. For
Next show, that was like a 3 out of 10 show. Next show is very, very good. Then you had the 2 awful bookings from Cullen and Justin, Stevie Live to Tape, and Charles. So that show was, again, and I don't want to rate 3 or 4 out of 10 maybe. So, and then the call-in show was excellent. So it's what I said. As soon as Cullinane took over, this would just be an average show. We've got another average week, 2 great episodes, 2 below average. You average it out, it's another 5 or 6 out of 10 week. I haven't done the maths, but
the math that you're just trying to spit out, right? It's making my head blow up. Like you're just spitting out numbers.
It's all right. Like half the Minifans are autistic, so they're
that's what I mean.
Like all the ADHD have already checked out, but the autism guys are locked in on the maths.
How do you think this thing will work? Do you think that he'll make up the games, or are we making up? Who's going to have the control of that?
I think there's a long way to go. There's a long way to go. Who I didn't even know who came up with it. Was it Minidan? Was he the guy who was talking about it, or was it the other guy? He was just on.
No, the other guy from Pittsburgh.
Okay. Honestly, like Fax's voice is just like a fucking trance.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm serious, John. If we want to make some money on the side, get him like reading stuff and release it as like a go to sleep.
Yeah, well, that's
podcast.
why Minds has been 7 hours lately. People just go and they just say it's suddenly become their favorite show. We're just putting people to sleep.
Yeah. Anyway, the other guy who was on, he seems like who came up with the idea, seems like he's got a lot of thoughts around it. So I think it's going to come together really well. I think, when you've got people like Jeff Lowe and Clemmer and Kirk, I'm sure they'll come up with lots of fun things to do at every location.
Yeah, I'm excited for it. It'll be dope.
Yeah.
We'll be more than able to handle that. No questions asked. Like, it'll be awesome.
That's a lie, but I'm there for the ride. Anyway, so this week, as I said, it's a midweek. I've accepted it. Cullinane's got basically mildly terrible instincts, but I'm going to stop ragging on the show. It's fun. It was fine. Whatever. But I'm happy we got 2 great shows. And I haven't listened to the Charles episode twice yet. No, I probably will because I'm a fucking masochist.
I tried to get him for Mike and the Minifans, and I just realized, like, how the fuck would I get in touch with that guy? I sent like a hard copy phone book, like that.
Yeah, probably a good thing. So we're not taking calls tonight, by the way.
We are.
What? No, you and I said we weren't last week, and I'm sticking to it. Calls went really well today. Let's not spoil it.
Yeah, there you go.
They've been terrible on Mike and Menace Live.
Yeah.
You also just let all your friends call up, like whoever.
It's true.
So,
well, at least my friends call up because we would have nobody if not.
That's true, but I'd rather just have nobody. But a victory today. I'm glad they did a call show, and I think it worked. So I think that's going to be a lock-in thing every Friday. They can't do it next week, but most Fridays are going to take calls. So
how does the Amazing Race work? I don't even know that.
No, I hate all that shit. I've never watched any of it.
I got to start.
I'm saying, like, I'm the worst. I'm going to be the worst contestant.
The good thing is that's the easiest stuff to produce. It's not like it's super hard to
produce. What am I good at? I'm like mildly, like I've got good hand-eye coordination.
Really? You could be a hockey puck.
Yeah. But I will need like a stool or a high chair for everything I do. I just want to clarify some stuff around the whole me white knighting for that chick who does the Red Sox podcast. And what's her name? Jamel? What's the...
No.
Jamel Hill, yeah. Is that her name?
I think.
It's not that I'm white knighting for them. I just... A couple of things that annoy me. So... And I think broadly speaking, and this is something I have to get over, I do get more and more frustrated that there's no dissenting voices in the studio, no one with their own opinion. And I give Justin credit, like he's admitted that. He said on Men's Live 2 weeks ago he doesn't have his own brain. So okay, at least he's owned up about it. So I've stopped, even ever expecting Justin to have a shred of individual thought.
What are your thoughts about people saying Justin should be on his toes and looking out for his job? I think that's such horseshit. Justin's the guy who like keeps, I think, the ship afloat at this point.
Yeah. Cullinan on thin ice, and he just got back.
Cullinan, I don't even know if he's through his like 90-day like onboard. He's still in his 90-day onboarding phase. Cullinan,
Yeah. So I just want to get back to the stuff around the Red Sox podcast and Jamel. So with the Red Sox podcast, I get that he hates the Boston Globe, but in the end, that podcast is not for Kirk. It's for people that didn't live through the '04 World Series. There's lots of young people, 30 and under, who love podcasts, who didn't live through it, who don't know the story intimately, and that's what that podcast is for. And why does it have to be some old white guy telling the story? So they've got some girl telling the story. They decide to shit on it. So let me say, so he rags on it, right? And his main criticism is, what don't they, they've already been through it all. Then next segment, they bring up Jamel Hill, and then he just recycles takes about her we've heard 15, 20 times. Like it's just hypocritical. Like anyway, so it kind of annoyed me, and I get Jamel's the worst. I don't know her. She hasn't made waves here, but we've heard that take from Kirk a million times. Like that's all. That's my point.
I think Jamel Hill handled that tweet very well and everything like that. Her response to it, I think Kirk mentioned that today. She handled it well.
Kirk wonders why people think he's an asshole because, and then he's stupid producers because Cullinan is desperate for any attention he can get. Will clip everyone and tag everybody in and just try and wave his arms around. Which I get it. That's what you got to do as a producer. But just terrible instincts. And that Jamel Hill podcast. Well, who gives a shit about that show? Like, we know what Kirk thinks about Jamel Hill. Find something more interesting to talk about, Cullinan and Justin. It's just low-hanging fruit, lazy, and it's as lazy as somebody rehashing the 2004 Red Sox story by Kirk's thinking. That's my thoughts around it. Anyway,
double down on them.
It's not a downer. It's just
I said you double down on them. Like them doing that story is just as boring as that story.
Yes. Yeah. Anyway,
that's fucked up.
I just wanted to get people, but it's just, and I miss the fact that there's no one in the studio that can give Kirk a different point of view. Like, if say you're a young person, 20, don't you think you might be more interested in a podcast about the '04 Red Sox if it's sort of nice, young sounding voice than some?
No young kid listens to long format podcasts.
You'd be surprised. You'd be surprised. And
no, I wouldn't. I wouldn't be surprised. I know.
And Don, I don't love race baiters. I just know we know what Kirk thinks of Jamel. How many times are we going to hear it? Anyway. And then the Gino bit was uncomfortable. Like I don't understand. So Kirk knows that the problem with the Minifans is as soon as you introduce someone into the world, they will start going through their social security, their bank accounts, but within 24 hours, somebody has a full dossier on whoever you mention. So Justin quite rightly doesn't want a former colleague really messed with or brought into the show. And they just think it's some funny bit to go along with it. Like, I don't get it. Like, Justin was trying to play it off, but couldn't do it.
I don't like old guy bits. There's a lot of old guy bits, Guy Geller, all these old man bits. I just hate old white men. So Gino, Guy Geller, who's dead now, that kind of stuff. I never really liked that stuff. So I hope Justin didn't have sex with that guy though, because that would be fucked up.
I just thought, and it was not like Kirk. It's an odd thing to be picking on, like, oh, where did Gina go after the game? Like, clearly Justin was uncomfortable. And if Kirk really does care about people's mental health. I think when Justin sort of tries to avoid something, respect it, because Justin will make anything content. He will do anything for the show. He's proven that. So his loyalty is without question.
That's true.
But he would be uncomfortable. You know, he doesn't want people, and we heard it, you know, people have all been going through Gino's Facebook, you know, I can see why Justin was trying to avoid it.
Text back though after getting
well,
to not get a text back after having sex with that guy is fucked up.
You're crushing it right now. So for those listening, got a couple more topics, and then I want to talk to John about the Meeting of the Minds drama, because that's actually been something interesting happening this week, and I'll explain to Kane how to give context. But just back to a couple of issues. So on Thursday night, Australian time, so Thursday morning US time, I went to bed and woke up in the middle of the night and saw the Unnamed show was live. So I put it on when I was half asleep, and Smitty came on, and I have not heard a second of him before. So I actually had, you know, like, to know if someone's really crazy, you need a baseline of what they're like when they're kind of normal.
Yeah.
So, you know, that's all I've ever seen of Smitty is that segment. So it took me a while to realize how bad he was, and it was wild. But anyway, so yesterday, so I'm half asleep. Yesterday, I decided I want to listen to the Unnamed show again, and I'm out walking, put it on as the podcast, and you cannot hear Whitney. Like, he's so much quieter than the other two or three when they had Smitty on. You can hardly hear Whitney, just very, and I'm like, you've got three of the biggest podcast personalities in the world, Whitney, Dave, and Kirk. It would take 1 minute to fix that. You just put it in a program and level it out. You know, like, you don't have to do anything. Like, even if you just put a simple limiter on, you can fix that problem. But someone's just downloaded it from whatever software, and it sounds different to when you watch it on YouTube, because there's the way they broadcast on YouTube, like, they do kind of equalize it as it's live. So the podcast can sound different to the way you're listening to it on YouTube. And I've had complaints before about when I just stick stuff up from MMN Network without leveling it, that you can, anyway, whatever. My point is, don't you think, like, you're a fucking barstool producer, just level the audio?
The audio today on the calls was even tough. It's but that's so tough to, like, know in real time. But still, the podcast itself, with, like, the audio you have after the live show, should just run it through. Like, it's just hitting
put it in Audition or Audacity or something. Hit a button.
It does it for you. But whatever. I don't listen to that. I don't listen to that podcast. I listen to the live version of it on YouTube. So I don't really care.
Yeah. Normally I do. That's why I hadn't come across that problem.
Yeah.
I just want to agree. I don't know. I just want to bitch about something. I'm fucking.
No, yeah, definitely.
I'm really happy. Like, I'm really happy. Like, and I did a lot of great soul searching about the show this week. You know,
really,
just accept Cullinane's fucking Joe Average. Just accept it. I've, like, got to just accept. There's no dissenting voices in there. Like, but also I enjoyed hearing today Kirk insinuated that maybe the two producers should put more thought into the guests they bring in. And amazingly, it took the boss to tell those idiots that, you know, like, Cullinane, you know, it's his third go producing for Kirk, and he still can't get it right. Like, Jesus Christ.
It's kind of true.
All right.
Like, you're out.
All right.
We did get told that we did get told that what's his name will be back next Thursday, though. So we are.
Who will be?
What's his name from Derek or whatever the hell his name was there Thursday.
Charles,
yeah, he'll be there next Thursday too. So we're all set.
Okay, I think that was a joke. Fortunately,
no, it wasn't. Justin did say that.
Okay, well,
it's real.
Again, I think if he was in with a blind Mike or a Montante or would be good. I'm out on Mutt. I was going to try and say Mutt, but
yeah,
Mutt.
you're trying to shit on Mutt. That's all right.
All right.
Staying there.
Anyway, it's a great week of KMS. I'm thrilled that I saved the show with the calls on Friday.
Are you not giving me any credit of that? Because I think it was my idea at the end, my rants at the end of the show that did it, not yours.
I'll give you 5% credit.
That's good.
Because I have been way more
For
strident.
definitely
Like
thinking of it and you just being here, you definitely, I would say, yeah, no, that's fair. 5%. I'll take.
because you just say a lot of stuff and none of
I know,
it's.
I know, I know, I know.
Whereas I've been defiant that you just need to make it a consistent time for a
Mhm.
long time. Anyway, so with the meeting of the minds drama, so most people watching this don't watch your show, John, but I'm just going to catch everyone up. So basically, Dr. Vodka came on hammered earlier in the week and started saying where BA worked and his full name. BA got very upset, kicked Vodka out and said, "You're not welcome back." Jay, who we all know is a serial pest, thought it would be funny then to continue to say on air where BA worked and continue to say BA's name.
I would say it even
Which
goes back further. Like Jay has done
no,
it
no,
for
no,
over
but
7 years.
I'm not going through the whole history. Like
Yeah,
we all
yeah.
know Jay's done it before, but just in this instance, and then BA said, "Okay, Jay's banned as well."
Mhm. 2 ultimatums, 2 days.
2 ultimatums, 2 days. As usual, John sat on the fence, and then Sneakers messaged
No, I didn't.
John and said, "If you don't ban Jay, I'm going to come and beat the shit out of you,"
Yeah,
basically.
yeah.
And then at which point John goes, "I can't
Hit
be
him.
bothered with this. I'm just going to ban him because I like
Yeah,
my life. I like my pretty face."
yeah.
Um,
No,
so
so the only thing you got wrong there, kind of a big part, is before I had Sneakers message me, you're a deadman.com. That's where you can get all the merch for it. It's youaredeadman.com. He texted me, you're a dead man. That's .com. And said, you're a dead man. So that was after I told BA that Jay's banned and all that stuff. So it was kind of like a unnecessary shot, maybe a little bit in the dark from behind, but that's okay. It is what it
okay,
is.
but do you think maybe BA hadn't informed Sneakers yet of your backing down?
Yeah.
Because before that, on all the shows, he said, "Well, BA can do what he wants. Like if BA doesn't want him on
Yeah.
when he's here, that's fine. But when I'm on, no one's banned." That's what you
Well,
said.
that used to be the rule, and then it got changed, and BA has the right to change that. It's half his show.
Okay.
More his
No,
show.
that's good. So Sneakers bullied you into the bans.
Well, I would say he bullied BA into kind of subversely bullying me.
Okay.
But then
So
he did threaten to beat me up, so I would
yeah,
call that bullying me just alone.
yeah. So
Why?
we've established so you won't ban someone that
Unless I
sexually
get told
assaults.
I'm going to get beat up.
You won't ban someone that sexually assaults middle ladies, but you'll ban someone that doxes BA. That's the standards.
BA won't ban them.
Okay.
BA has a pretty
You're not banning anybody, but you're willing to
Well,
go
no,
along
I
with
ban people
co-bans.
I
You're
ban people
co-ban.
that I get told to ban.
Okay, that makes sense. No,
And I
that's
agree with
consistent then.
this time. I agree with it this time. Jay's a fuck, and
Yeah.
Vodka did something
You wouldn't
that
agree with
like,
banning someone that like assaulted Lauren and
if
Joe and
BA
stuff.
told me, I would do it in a heartbeat.
Okay. So this is why people like Sneakers send you messages like they want to beat the shit out of you
I know.
because you're just the ultimate fence sitter. I've accepted it. Like the
Ooh,
funny thing is,
how that sitting on the fence? I don't understand what you mean by that.
what does that mean?
How is it? How am I sitting on? I made
Because
it.
you're just basically saying, look, I'll agree with the ban because BA is part of the show. That's
Yeah,
it,
I have
and I
my.
respect him.
I'm in a headlock. I have to decide.
Exactly. So, but you don't have a thought like, oh no, I think this person should be banned. You're just
I just told you that. I agreed with them in this situation. I was going to ban them no matter what.
okay. Interesting. So
I
that's the
think
line. So
Vodka has more.
sexual assault's okay, but doxing's not. At least I know.
Yeah.
Because I'm coming to America, so I need to know what's on the table
Well, now you know.
behavior wise.
You know, you got me in a pickle.
I have. I really have. I thought about that one when I was walking today. I was
came to
like,
me and said, I don't want you to have him on, or if she said, I'm going to put you in a headlock, I would A, probably still do it. B, because of the headlock stuff. C, that aside. D, I wouldn't do it. Because if people say they don't want something like that, you got to kind of abide by it. I've learned the repercussions of not.
okay, all right. But you said to me like people won't talk to you because of having certain people on Media the Minds.
Yes.
Yeah.
I said
So
that.
okay. Yeah, you've said that.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah. Oh yeah. Definitely.
Yeah.
Like because I have Wagon on the show, they won't talk to me. Agreed.
Good. Okay. Well, I just think it's a very odd line. That's all. It's a very odd line.
It is. I've learned in the recent days it really is.
It's a very odd line. Okay.
Once again, it's not my line. I would
But
say,
but I think that is dog shit. Like I'm all for having fun. Don't say people's place of employment,
yeah,
especially if someone works in a highly regulated industry
yeah.
where that could really get them in trouble. It's really just
And
the
even
lowest of
stuff
the low.
like put like his dad's name and then the name of where he worked, and
Mm,
like, what if someone Googles that and now that comes up,
mm,
like
yeah,
Jay's texts or tweets come up? Jesus.
yeah. And then so people who catch up on meeting the minds. They did a show sort of on Thursday, and Vodka spent most of the show begging to be let on in the
Yeah,
backstage.
tough.
And you held firm. At one point, Fax brought in Jay because he missed him.
What a dummy.
Yeah, so this is like actually interesting drama and like what's been going on at KMS. Although my recounting doesn't quite do it justice. And then we had the ultimate demise of Luke McKay, and
What?
some of you will remember him. He hosted a show on John's network called Open Borders, and he was for some reason given the keys to the car on the GVE network, and then managed to destroy it even more than John ever could,
Listen,
which is
you see a
surprising.
meteor in the sky, you name it after yourself, kid. Luke is a meteor. He hasn't crashed. He is burning bright,
Mm,
stronger than ever. Definitely not happy with Kane, and
mm,
not happy with Fax. Doesn't like those two
yeah,
guys. But other than that, he's healthy, happy enough.
mm, yeah, and Kane, yeah, Kane's doing great. Kane is getting better and better. He's fantastic. Anyway, so that's the meeting of the mind. So who's currently the CEO?
That's a good question. I think at this point, I think Sneakers has claimed it, which has to really, at the end of the day, be a real bob in the ass because
Mm.
we haven't never risen so high. So Sneakers is
Actually,
actually,
you are perfect for KMS because you have no individual thoughts. Like you're
yeah,
just, but you can produce. Like you'd be a good.
yeah.
Like
You just
anyway,
tell me what to do, and I usually do it.
yeah. Okay,
The
so
problem is
Sneakers is
when
the CEO. That's good, and the bouncer. He's the CEO
yeah,
and
Sneakers,
bouncer.
yeah, like I said, best CEO we ever had. We've never risen to such heights. So
Yeah.
thank
Okay.
you.
And when's BAG back to GVE?
I don't know. He's probably mad at me or something because
Mm.
at the end of the day, these guys just brainwash me and he's just getting mad at me. It's a real weird phase. Like,
Mm.
I don't know
So,
what.
so for those that don't, and no one watches
Or
Media of the
maybe I
Mind.
did
So,
something, I
but
guess.
but for those that don't watch it, it's not even a show even to watch. You can dip in and out. It's like a hang. So
I will
like
watch the
anybody
show.
can come on. Any like there have been some freaky Minifans come on recently.
That's the
One guy
point of the show.
Morgan came on and completely destroyed Beanbag Ron.
Like,
And Ron knows nothing about cutting down trees. It's amazing. He just fucking goes up to the top of the tree and watches everyone else do the work apparently. So anyway,
do you miss
if you
doing
want to hang
shows
out
with
with
BA?
some Minifans, it's a good way to show your face.
Do you miss doing these shows with BA? I just miss doing shows with BA. I love doing shows with BA. I've always done shows with BA.
Yeah, I miss BA, but in the end, the revenge tour is over, so I killed everybody. Now I'm all about rebirth.
Am
Hope
I
we can
dead?
bring him back.
Am I dead?
It's hard to kill you because you kind of like there's people like
That's what I keep
well,
telling everybody.
people just hear me on these shows abusing you, but in the end, like you and I, like a very good friends. If I needed anything, I could call you. If you needed anything, you could call me, and I might pick
Yep,
up.
like how to produce a game show over the multiple states.
Yeah,
That's when
absolutely.
I'm gonna need you for sure.
So yeah, but you're always honest. You're always honest. You just like everybody. You don't have strong opinions.
Yeah,
I
I think
can't work
that's
out if
fair.
you're easily led. Like if you're the sort of person that just goes with the flow or not.
No, usually if I see people making me go with any flow, I just don't go down that flow. That's pretty
Mm.
basic. Like you try to trick me all the time. What do you mean go with the flow? I'm constantly on my toes because of you. People think I'm paranoid of anything because of you.
To try
Sorry,
to
I'm
give you.
looking out behind my back at all times for a midget from Australia.
It's true. Just with the road trip to give you guys an idea of how much I dislike driving. Like I should be right now on a date with some girl I met on an app, but when she
Yeah.
sent me where she lived. I sort of got the suburbs kind of mixed up, and she lives an hour's drive away. So miles wise, I reckon it's about 40 miles away, which is not that far, but I'm just like, no way do I want a
It's like
girlfriend
an
40
hour
miles.
drive.
Yeah, and I'm like, no chance. That's too far. Like to
Yeah.
me, that's 2 hours there and back for
Yeah,
no,
no.
like a route.
Make her come
Like
to you, manners.
what?
They said make her come to you.
Yeah, absolutely. So
The daddy
I
tape
just
you got going.
I pulled out at the last minute, and that's when I realized I could do Men is Live.
Carm just goes, this sounds like bad advice you're giving him.
No. I don't. I don't want. That's. I just don't. Yeah, I don't want to drive like an hour.
So
That's too.
tell me,
So, okay,
like,
so I've sort of got a radius now. I'm sort of thinking like half that, like half an hour to 40 minutes max.
okay,
Like,
what type
just,
of like weird are you jumping into here?
what do you
You just
mean?
down for anything? Down to clown? Or are you picky about this? Because you could be picky. These are highlight years, not twilight. That was a good line. These are your highlight years, not your twilight years.
Oh yeah, I don't have any. I don't have any. The what's the guy? What's that fuckwit that was on Kane's show? He'd be like, oh, because I have like I want vanilla good times. He's like,
Yeah.
oh, you're not happy. I feel sorry for people
Oh
have
no,
vanilla sex.
I would say if anything, you're like on the road to having the most fun at that point. You know, the whole
Like-
world out of you.
Like I found the way he spoke down to people about sex was quite distasteful.
Yeah, people do that a lot.
It's like, okay, so because we don't like watching our girlfriend get banged by other guys, we're not having a good time. Like that's just a wild statement.
You have to look at it, so you can't really be cocky.
Yeah, like in the end, I actually don't want to shit on like, and I'm no king shame. I'm a bit like Kirk. As long as everyone's consenting and having a good time, all about it. If John wants to swing, if this guy wants to, watch his girlfriend get banged and fill up a million holes, go for it.
That all he
But
does?
yes. And he gets involved. Like he's like, there's more than one hole. So, it's like,
Right.
Anyway,
Weird
I haven't watched his channel. Ask Kane. I think he has. So I don't want to.
I'll dive in. I'll dive in.
But I just don't think like, if someone likes just a good old fashioned route, then there's nothing wrong with that. Like as long as, both people get off, that's the main thing. Like
exactly, baby.
I just thought that, I hate that sort of condescending tone from someone.
Oh, definitely. And it's just because like, bro, it's not, you're not some revolutionary person. I respect him for it. Don't get me wrong, but it's not like you're not Ben Franklin, bro.
Yeah, exactly.
Camp.
Yeah, and he was also he also got into he's clean now, and he sort of
that does change things though.
Told everyone about how good sobriety was, which I kind of agree with, but I didn't need him lecturing everybody.
I went on DEC's podcast, so I'm not going to sit here and lecture you about lecturing people because I think I laid my claim there.
Well, that was wild. That was I remember that DEC podcast very, very well.
Probably made Kurt hate me for 2 to 3 years.
I think when you admit to like scamming your own family out, it does make people like
listen to the end of the story. Listen to the end of the story. It ends great.
I know. You're an honest guy.
Give me a blanket and we fall back in love.
Yeah, I get it.
Change, man.
All right. Well, look, I think we'll wrap this Menace Live up. Just wanted to jump on. Great week in the Miniverse.
Absolutely. Revolutionary Friday.
And just by the way, so before Kirk went on a break, he promised he would come on Menace Live. So I wanted to wait until he sorted out his health issues, and if the diagnosis was terminal, then we could have done a bit of a Kirk, this is your life kind of retrospective before he passed on. But now that he looks like he's going to come through it, he can just come on. We can have a good time. We can talk about the show, that kind of thing.
Talk about A+ timing, having your show having your idea premiere the day after a guy gets told he's not dying. You're just like, yes, that could have went bad.
All right, Minifans, you have a great night. Have a great weekend.
I think my mouse. I'd say thank you to the people.
Oh yeah, thank you, John, for reminding me. So that's a producer. Thank you, Freddie Lynn. Thank you, Patriot Stink Again. Thank you, A Graves. Thank you, Don the Jeweler. Thank you, Kevin. Thank you, Mayo. Thanks, Tim.
Thanks, Tim.
Thank you, Jackson. Thanks, Tim Fax. Thanks, Buller. Thanks, Hostage Tate Curtis. Thanks, Jeff in Georgetown. Wrap it up, baby. That's it. Thank you. It's Late Night with Mad Manners. I'm your host. Hello, everybody. Hello, everyone. Hello, everyone. Manners till midnight. I will be taking your calls. I am also still alive. I haven't been fucked to death by the while. So stick it up your ass, Steve. It's really good to see someone while we're all on lockdown. That's it. It's always sort of been there. The women's game has been ignored. So fucking scared. I mean, look at Steve Robinson. Since he talked about his parents in the first episode, he basically lied.